Hallelujah. Lonzo Ball expected to play next season? Question mark. What we're specifically hearing from Mr. Casey Johnson and NBC Sports, we're hearing that there's a growing buzz that Lonzo Ball will play next season. Quote, there's a growing buzz from some who talk to the Ball that he'll play next season. End quote. Which is exciting to hear, as is, if you don't know, Lonzo Ball is recovering from a knee debridement. Again, if you don't know, a knee debridement is, in layman terms, when they slice your knee open and peel it like a banana and kind of like, I believe, like saw it down, not saw it down, but like sand it down. They like basically clean it all up. It's a big procedure. Typically you get it and then they sew you back up. Amari Stoudemire got a knee debridement and then was never the same. His career was on. And you usually you don't just get a knee debridement. No, a knee debridement's when you've had multiple procedures typically, and you need them to go in and kind of like clean it down to the bone. It's a very, look into it if you guys want to be grossed out, but it's not a normal procedure that someone in their 20s should get. And that's why it's been such a difficult, because he had to get it because he wasn't reacting or recovering how he was supposed to from the previous surgeries. So they basically had if you want to give it an analogy, they basically had to go in and redo the foundation of his knee, and he had to build from I'm like grossed out right now. So it's really rough on the guy, and that's why we've seen just a lot, because one leg is, I don't know, by this point you would assume when he starts playing his legs are back to normal, but his knee that he got surgery on was probably tiny, and he's probably had to rebuild every fiber in that knee, that leg. T's and P's first off. So I want to hear your thoughts down below. Just the idea of Lonzo Ball coming back. I'm like, what are they? They were like 27-5, I think, in the 32 games that Lonzo Ball played. I forgot what the record was. Someone comment down below if you're listening. What was that record? God, it was such a good Caruso, Ball, DeRozan. People actually liked Zach LaVine. He was like, his offensive scoring was perfect next to them. And Vooch was there. Man, it's unfortunate how this has just played out, especially if you're a fan of the Chicago Bulls, because this is a team that had championship aspirations and had the possibility to be way better than what they were initially. Well, not initially, but what they ended up being. Like, this whole trajectory where we want the GM, Arthurs, to get fired, wouldn't have happened. Like, I gotta stop saying something like, but when you look at the team and how it's become, if Lonzo hadn't gotten hurt, it would be a completely different story. Billy Donovan had the perfect team. You had Jason Kidd, basically. People don't realize that Lonzo Ball was becoming our generation's Jason Kidd. Obviously, Jason Kidd's a very tall task and an outlandish task for us to say. But for me, when I looked at him, I thought, okay, he's a rebounding, pass first, got defensive chops. As he's gotten older, he's become a better scorer and shooter. And very similar to how Jason was. And he was kind of the glue that held this guy together. His defense with Caruso's off the bench helped alleviate the negative that Zach LaVine is on defense. And then Zach's offense was consistent because he had the playmakers around him, as well as shooting to to be able to go ahead and flourish to where everyone was complimentary to one another. And I think that's the biggest thing that's different now. So if he's coming back, it's dope.